Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
winner of the Tourism and Destinations Award. Can you tell us a little bit about what it means to you to win this award?
I'm a tiny small business, so sometimes running a small business as an owner operator, it's really hard to know how much of a difference you're making. So to win something like this really proves that the business model I've got to have a positive impact long term and have a real holistic approach to that is actually being recognised and hopefully inspiring others to take it on as well. So it means so much to win something like this because it gives me confidence that this is the future of tourism, this is the future of tourism businesses, and there's actually a different way to operate from the traditional tourism business model in a way that's not all about profit. It's actually about purpose as well, and being successful at the same time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now you mentioned you have a 2-year-old daughter in there, but other than that, tell us a little bit about the challenges that you've had to face with achieving what you have achieved, implementing your vision and how you overcame those things.
Yeah, the challenges are similar with a lot of tourism businesses. Time and budget. Limited time, limited budget. We launched 5 years ago, which was at the start of COVID, not the best timing at all as well. So there's been multiple challenges, but I find in business and tourism, there always seems to be some sort of challenge as well. But for me, it's about being really creative, about finding the most ethical solution to every business decision I make that fits within the realms of that budget as well. And a lot of that comes to collaborations, partnerships, communicating with conscious businesses who would like to work with us as well. And I found that that's been a really effective way of me having a no compromise approach, never taking a business decision that's detrimental to the environment and the community, always making a business decision that has a positive impact. And you can do that on a shoestring, and I'm proving that, and that's why something like this is so amazing, So
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of those impacts, what were the impacts that you were measuring, and how were you holding yourself to account?
For me, it was about working backwards. So identifying the negative impacts that I would have as a tourism operator and then trying to find solutions to them before they've actually happened. So for example, waste, a lot of tourists are going to cause waste, a lot of tour companies are going to cause waste as well. So how can I operate in a way of operating with zero waste as well? And we do that in a number of ways, everything from giving our guests these little eco packs at the start of the tour that have got reusable items in them, so there's no need for them to buy a plastic bottle of water or a disposable coffee cup or anything like that, right through to the community and being under a lot of pressure, the community and the destination that I'm at, from an influx of visitors, and how can we turn that potentially negative community sentiment into a positive, and doing that in a number of ways, from picking up rubbish to planting trees to supporting local businesses to supporting local growers and producers for the food that we provide. So it's really looking at the negatives first and then going, what can we do? Like, how can we do that? So I kind of work backwards on that, and that's been from the very start, from the foundations of the business too. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a really thoughtful and considered approach. What would be your advice for others trying to achieve what you've achieved?
I think there's obviously those classic sayings of, just make a start and progress, not perfection, and all that sort of stuff as well. But I think it's a case of unless we look to generations in the future, then we're only looking in the short term, and that's not really sustainable, I guess, in some ways as well. So for me, when I'm showing our guests a koala, I want to be able to tell them how I'm supporting that koala. When I'm showing them a dolphin, the same thing. If we're seeing the community or community struggling and things like that, I want to be able to tell our guests how we're supporting all of that as well. So I think that would be my advice to any business is what are you showcasing in your product? What is your, what is like the sort of hero experiences that you're selling in your product, or the hero features on that, and how are you actually supporting that? And if you're not supporting them, then they're not going to be in a good way for the future as well. So it's a really important way of kind of looking at it. And again, as I said before, it doesn't mean that you have to sort of spend a lot more and blow the budget or anything like that. There's a way of doing it that you can have a positive impact, and you don't need to sort of have massive investment to do that as well. So hopefully this proves that a micro business can actually do that, Yeah.
Well, it's such an inspiring way that you've really implemented your vision and achieved what you have. What next for you? Where's the next frontier?
It's there is obviously options of scaling and things like that, but for me it's about running a small business that is the ideal blueprint that other businesses can take on, and inspiring all of that. So the next steps for me is helping other businesses and working with destinations and businesses to help them develop a model and do that. So then the future of tourism, new businesses coming in, are kind of by default operating in a way with purpose straight away, rather than having to sort of tear everything up and start again as well. So that's really, really important to me in terms of the business getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's not the most important thing for me. The most important for me is to run a business that has the maximum amount of positive impact, really makes a difference for future generations, hits some of those long-term goals that we've set as well, but also inspire and help not just other businesses, but the next generation of the tourism industry as well. So the young people coming in the tourism industry, giving up my time to help them, mentor them, coach them, do whatever needs to be done as well for that. So yeah.
Well, your values and your purpose-driven approach, really, it's not a surprise at all that you've won tonight, and hopefully the recognition goes a long way, and that you step back and enjoy that.
Yeah.
I hope you have a wonderful evening celebrating, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.